one. We're going to send it down to Freak, who's with TL's freshman jungler.
Hey, thank you very much. I'm here with Dardoch, and let's all take a sigh of relief real quick and realize that you guys were down 0-3 as a team. You guys were getting smashed by a group of substitutes. The actual question is, how did you not surrender at 20, honestly?
Well, due to my recent reformation as a player, I kept my team in the game with my extremely positive attitude.
All right, so talk to me about sort of what that's like. Like, what's the chat going on inside the comms? Like, how are you guys trying to figure out how you're going to get back into this one?
Well, basically, we know that we have Cassiopeia and Caitlyn, which are like going to out DPS in late game. So we just said, like, stall the game, and if they don't get inhibs and Baron, and like, we're just going to win slowly.
And of course, they did get 3 inhibs on you eventually. It came down to a part where your inhibs are all dead, minions are flooding into the base, and it's like, we either stop Baron and save the base, or the game's over right there. So talk to me about sort of navigating into that fight and making that clutch call right there.
Well, basically, we traded Baron for 3 inhibs because just normal minions with Baron buff are like just as strong, so we can defend easily.
And it worked out for you guys. And of course, you landed all these clutch smites. You secured the anti-Dragon 5 like 2 or 3 times, the Baron inside the pit as well against these guys. So talk to me about sort of your start as a season, because you played a couple Challenger Series games. This is your first year in the LCS. You're already like landing a bunch of clutch plays. You're one of the vocal people on the team as well. So talk to me about sort of just all this at once suddenly for you.
I don't know. I've been working really hard since being on TLA, but now I'm not super nervous on stage, so I just play normally.
That's really good to hear. There's plenty of people who have a really tough time acclimating. So now that you guys finally do have a win on the board, you finally got a win, you guys can move forward. What's the future going to look like for Team Liquid for you guys? Final question.
If we keep improving and if we actually play like we do in scrims on stage, I don't see why we can't be the best team.
All right, so things keep going the way you think they're going to. Best team, you heard it here first. The Miracle 15-3 season. Dardoch, thank you very much. Congrats on the win. Let's throw it over to the guys in the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Freak. I mean, just a much-needed win there for Team Liquid, and honestly, somewhat baffling.
Come back more than that.
No, they're literally. I mean, at 14 minutes, they were like essentially aced under their bottom lane inhib turret.
Yeah, we were actually talking about how close this was to a perfect game in the other direction, because it was 11 kills to 0, only 2 turrets taken for Team Liquid, like a 12 or 14,000 goal lead at one point.
Yeah.
Bordering on absurdity. And like, I guess it makes sense because this is a team that literally came together pretty much yesterday for
Last
Echo
night.
Fox, the players they were able to put together. But then they had the start. We're like, wait, they're great.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to be like, you know what, Echo Fox, they're slowing down because, they got this early lead, but it's fine that they're slowing down because, they all just got together. They don't want to make any mistakes, so they're going to play by books, get the Baron, Dragons outside, then they'll push in, but...
And they mostly did, So let's caveat all of this with actually, given the circumstances, a team coming together last night. The five guys on Echo Fox did play their hearts out on the Rift. However, and it was spoken about in the interview just there, that one crucial fight that kind of turned it all around the Baron pit, well, around the red buff above the Baron pit. 39 minutes into the game, Echo Fox choosing to stay in that fight as opposed to disengage, kind of the big fault there that allowed Team Liquid back into it.
The headshot heard around the world there.
Yeah.
Piglet was able to
Keith took a bunch of damage in that fight.
Yeah. I think we have a replay of that. We're going to pull that up on your screen so we can walk through it, that first moment. But, this is that kind of scenario. We said we've got 2 inhibs down, the Baron's up.
Yeah.
It feels like Fox knows what the right play is, but then...
Well, Keith is so fed. He's 11 kills, but watch Keith. He steps on a trap.
Right there.
Hey.
And he gets done. So Piglet literally only gets 1 shot off. It's the headshot because he stepped on the trap, and the rest is done by Lorlo. And after they take Keith down, like he said, they have the Caitlyn and Cassiopeia. Caitlyn and Cassiopeia by themselves just being up means then they can get Baron after that, and you can use the Baron up Baron buff to buff up their own minions for the defense that we saw with the Caitlyn traps all along the entrance and the Baron up minions is enough for them to hold on. And then they have to make another one of those hero plays. This one was, we have no options. We have to charge in towards the objective. We have to force a fight. We can't let any time pass or else minions will flood our base. They have to do it again during the 5th dragon.
Yeah.
And they successfily do it again.
And then they did it again at the Baron.
And then they did it a 3rd time. It just kept going. And we do have that final fight, the final fight of the game, 45 minutes at the Baron. So returning to the site of the first engagement. And this, though, this time is finally Team Liquid's making a proactive maneuver.
Fox had to try and steal, and the key moment in this fight is Golden Glue got stunned right as he came in, so he couldn't use his ultimate or his Zony's Hourglass. At that point, the Lissandra is completely lost, and Fox is actually trapped in a 4v5, and thanks to the 60-second-plus death timers, this fight is what ends up ending the game.
Right, they have enough time to back.
Yeah,
and
back,
then get to
Baron,
the base.
and then push. It's honestly, we're only 2 weeks in, but this was a season-saving win, in my opinion, for Team Liquid, because losing that game, I think just kind of would have devastated them and thrown them into chaos. They've already made substitutions. They've already had their jungler retire. Piglet and Phoenix would have been like so frustrated.
Right.
Except now that you win.
You could see the relief on Piglet's face. I mean, he looked exhausted at the end of that game, right? I mean, he was working hard for that.
The amazing thing about it is, too, in all of the early game where they're just crushing Team Liquid and, Echo Fox is all over the place, diving top, taking all the objectives. Piglet was the only one. He actually didn't die.
Deathless.
He
in that
didn't
game
die.
Somehow.
Pretty good.
What?
Like,
Yeah. What? Just did it.
Positioning.
that was crazy. The other thing, though, is that's a big thing why you take Cassiopeia into Lissandra. It's because you know exactly Lissandra's gameplay. She's coming in with the claw. It's very, very
telegraphed.
It's telegraphed so easily. And you're like, boom, ultimate. You get the counter stun, this counter initiation sort of interaction.
Yeah, I mean, Jat, you mentioned that this could be considered a season-saving win, and I agree with you very much from a mental standpoint, what it would have taken for them to rebound from that. Now on the side of Echo Fox, we got to do them justice by talking about it a little bit. I mean, this is, as we mentioned, a roster that was thrown together last night. They did have all the right steps, and this is where you really see the presence of Froggen missed. Was if you did have that veteran, maybe more of that level.
The game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was going to say, he has a lot of experience in super long games, too.
Right. that as well.
Usually he's the one stalling out the games and not trying to end, but yeah.
But that's where I do feel that, I mean, credit to Big as the main shot caller there for getting them to the point that he did in those first 20 minutes of the game where they looked incredibly dominant. But that is where you maybe raise the question of, is that the element that Froggen really brings to the team, being the veteran, the level-headed guy who's been in this situation before?
And supposed to be the leader. I do really have to heavily credit, though, the Golden Glue, Solo, and Grigny. Because they all perform. They're just kind of thrown together, and they had to go up against Piglet, Phoenix, the whole crew, and they did.
This is what I was going to talk about when I thought Echo Fox were going to win, was how amazing it was, that they were executing. So what they did, they won the early game through macro play and through shot calling and through executing dives. Dives are the thing that everybody messes up, solo queue or
teams that have been playing together for 2 years will still mess up
had experience together. Even teams, like you said, that have had experience, yet they had back-to-back, dives in the early game that afforded them this huge advantage. Weren't able to finish it, but
weren't able to finish it. But again,
was...
stepping stones for that team. Much needed victory for Team Liquid. We've got one more game to close out the week, if you can handle it. That is, stick around for Renegades as they take on the new Team Impulse lineup. We'll be right back.
Sam. Oh, they're doing the handshakies. Look at them. Look at them.
Handshake. Oh, yeah. We'll do it, too.
Make sure you get your hands warm. Get them good. Get them good.
Let me get my hand warmer out.
It's okay. After this dive, let's see.
I don't know if it's going to be okay. Dardoch goes up. Dardoch goes down.
Narn. Kill him.
Kill.
Run through tower. Get tower.
Good shit, guys.
Lorlo tries to go to the back line, but where's the team once again to follow? Just on the other side of the wall.
Keith.
Let's kill this. Kill right side.
Goes in, flash, and then the ultimate. Golden Glue can actually use his ultimate. He goes down immediately. What a hit! The first Nexus turret that's going to be eyes on for Team Liquid, and Liquid pushes back with one swift punch.